Erythropoiesis. Before discussing to that, I would like to discuss about the age as well as from which organs are the blood cells produced. So, in the intrauterine life, from 3 week to 3 month, from 3 week to 3 months, the blood cells are formed from yolk sac. From 3 months to 5 months, the blood cells are formed from liver and spleen. From 5 months to 20 years, from 5 months to 20 years, the blood cells are formed from bone marrow, especially the long bones plus flat bones. Above 20 years, the blood cells are formed from bone marrow itself, especially the flat bones, mainly which are located in the midline, that is our iliac crust. Okay, and from 5 months to 20 years, if our liver is producing blood cells, the condition is pathological. Okay, if liver is producing after 5 months, if the liver is producing blood cells, the condition is pathological, and it is called as extramerohematopoiesis. Extramerohematopoiesis. So we are having coming on to erythropoiesis, we are having pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells. The pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells, these are the stem cells which eventually divides into burst forming unit erythrocyte. It will leads to colony forming unit erythrocyte. Then it will leads to proerythroblast. Then basophilic erythroblast. Then polychromatophilic erythroblast. Then comes our orthochromatic erythroblast, and then comes the immature RBC, which is a reticulocyte, and finally the mature RBC, which is called erythrocyte. Okay, now, so this is a mature RBC erythrocyte which is 7 micrometer in diameter. Reticulocyte is immature RBC. It is found 1 to 2% in our circulation. So coming on to the pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells, I'll just write so this is a full form. PHSC means pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells. BFU, burst forming unit erythrocyte, colony forming unit erythrocyte. Here you can see this is the committed stem cell. That means this is committed for RBC production. Now the colony forming unit erythroblast is having many receptors for erythropoietin. It is having numerous receptors for the hormone erythropoietin. This erythropoietin is a hormone which is released by the kidneys to increase the RBC production. Okay, and here when the pluripotent hematopoietic cells converts to burst forming unit, there are certain transcription factors which is called GATA and FOG. FOG means fronts of GATA. GATA, these two are the transcription factors which are required during the division of pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells to burst forming unit erythrocyte. The proerythroblast. This is the point where hemoglobin synthesis begins. Proerythroblast. Hemoglobin synthesis begins. Polychromatophilic erythroblast. This is where the hemoglobin first appears. Polychromatophilic erythroblast. When it becomes orthochromatic, the hemoglobin formation will be completed. So the erythropoiesis is regulated by the hormone erythropoietin. Erythropoietin. This is released by 80% it is released by kidneys, but it is also released by uterus, brain and liver. The stimulus for so what is the stimulus for the release of this erythropoietin? It is hypoxia. So during the condition of hypoxia, erythropoietin hormone is released. From in which part of the kidney it is released? That means at the interstitial cells. At the interstitial cells of peritubular capillaries. Peritubular capillaries. So in kidney, the region where erythropoietin is released is interstitial cells of peritubular capillaries. Now this hormone acts through a receptor pathway called as Janus kinase pathway. Janus kinase pathway. So this is the pathway where the erythropoietin hormone acts, especially the JAK-STAT receptor pathway, and the isoenzyme of JAK2 is more important. And the isoenzyme form of JAK2 is more important. If there is a gain of function mutation, that means if there is a mutation and it resulted in gain of function mutation. If there is a mutation in the JAK2 isoenzyme and it resulted in gain of function mutation, it will lead to increase in RBC count because it is gain of function, and this is called polycythemia vera. This is called polycythemia vera. In the normoxia condition, when the oxygen partial pressure in our blood is normal, we are having hypoxia inducible factor. Look, hypoxia inducible factor. At the normoxia condition, the hypoxia inducible factor, it is a transcription factor which will be combined with the VHL protein. That means von Hippel-Lindau protein. So at normoxia condition, these two will bind and it will result in degradation. Okay, it will result in degradation because at the normoxia condition we do not need erythropoietin. But at hypoxia condition, the hypoxia inducible factor separate from VHL protein. They separate from VHL protein. That means they will separate from VHL protein, and this is a transcription factors which will stimulate erythropoiesis. That means stimulate the erythropoietin. That means it will increase RBC production. So this erythropoietin, it is a hormone which increases the RBC production. So we have found that the erythropoietin will increase RBC production. So by the rDNA technology, that means recombinant method, we have made drugs which are recombinant drugs through rDNA technology of erythropoietin. That is epoetin alpha and darbepoetin alpha. So these are the two drugs which are developed by rDNA technology. Now this can be by the recombinant method. This can be this can be given to patients who is facing anemia. due to some chronic disease. So those who are facing anemia at chronic disease, and the patients who is undergoing dialysis. Okay, the patients who are undergoing dialysis, their kidney might be it may be due to kidney failure. So as a kidney is a major source of erythropoietin. Kidney is a major source of erythropoietin. So there will be decrease in the erythropoietin, and therefore decrease in the RBC. So by supplying these drugs, epoetin alpha and darbepoetin alpha, it is given for this treatment. There are factors which increases RBC. Those factors are, that means those hormones are growth hormone, cortisol, thyroid hormone, especially the T3, and testosterone. So the testosterone hormone in males increases the RBC production. That is the reason why males have a higher blood cell count, RBC count. There are hormones which decreases RBC, especially the estrogen. Estrogen decreases the RBC. That is why in females the RBC count is less.